So now we're going to be discussing how the program looks and the different areas within the program. First of all, we're going to start with talking about the lesson plan. Every session that you deliver has a lesson plan, and the lesson plan guides the facilitator in what to do. For instance, step one, the first part of the lesson plan will ask you to get your client to recall the step and recite it back to you. Our second part of the manuals that is really important is our group facilitator's prompter. The prompter is part of the manuals that I will sit on my lap, and it will enable me to facilitate group sessions with targeted questions based on the level of Bloom's taxonomy that you're teaching at. So I might, for instance, in groups say, okay Fred, tell me what step one is. Recite it back to me. And then our final part in our manuals are the client questions. And so these are multiple questions that the client answers at the end of each session. They can answer it as homework, they can take it away and do it. You could get your peer group to come in and help people to answer those questions. And what just sprung into my head is that I worked with a young man who was quite dyslexic, and I would ask him the questions and I would write his answers for him. So we can use that in all sorts of ways. So moving on to our table of contents and session timings, if we talk about step one, you'll see in the manuals that step one has 1A, 1B, 1C. 1A is our introduction to the step, 1B is our understanding, and 1C is our big book study section. If we focus down even more, in 1A you'll see that there are 3 sessions, and those 3 sessions are covered by the lesson plan. There is classroom work, which in this particular session is about half an hour. There is group work, so I'd be using that group facilitator's prompter, which could be up to an hour and a half. And then there is written work, which, like I've said, your clients could do there in the classroom. They could take it away as homework. You can get them to do it with peers, or you could even fill it in for them. And that's our format for our session timings throughout our manuals, and you'll see by looking at the table of contents how simple that is to follow. I just want to go on to finish in our introduction video about our progress record. There is a small progress record that is relatively simple, that covers each of the steps so that you can evidence where your people are. So for instance, for step one, I can sign off that my client is able to recite step one. Yeah. I can sign off that my client can explain powerlessness and unmanageability. I can sign off that they can explain what a mental obsession is, explain cravings, and that they've completed the questions on step one. And again, that format follows throughout the manuals for each of the steps.